Stop sending cheesy lines, because the truth is she doesn't want a comedian. She wants a connection. And you do that by understanding how to playfully use banter. Stay tuned. Gentlemen, I'm Johnny Cassell, and I've been helping guys improve their dating and social life for around 16 years now. I've seen it all. I've seen the nice guys, I've seen the funny guys, the guys that have probably took it a little bit too far, and also come across the guys that really nail that sweet spot of being fun and playful and being a bit curious and intriguing. This is really the sweet spot. This is where we want to be, and this is what will make a woman really light up and want to be around you a lot more. In this video, I'm going to share with you what banter really is. I'm going to give you a framework so you can understand how to use this properly and really create a spark in conversation, and also how to use teasing in a playful way. Now, do stick around to the end, because I am going to share with you some of the stuff that I actually use when I'm out in bars, in clubs, or even on the street, right, in daytime. So stick around to the end, and I'll be sharing that with you. Okay, let's start with what banter actually is. Okay, the simplest way to sort of describe this, it's when you're playfully challenging her reality, okay? You're not doing it to try and be funny. Okay, it's going to come off wrong. You're just doing it to playfully challenging the idea that she has of herself. Okay, when it's done right, the only sort of way that I can describe this is, imagine you're playing a game of tennis. Okay, you throw one up, you serve, and she serves one back. You got to get a bit of a rally going, right? There's momentum, there's pace, there's rhythm. Now, here's the kicker. This is a sign of great banter between two people. You don't actually want to win, right? It's not about throwing up the Roger Federer and give it a hard serve and just trying to knock her out with something harsh to say. In actual fact, that's a sign of it going wrong, okay? You're not trying to put yourself above her and minimize her, because you're just going to come across as a bit of a dick. So you've got to put something out there. You've got to tease, right? You've got to see how it's being received, and then you've got to measure, where she's at after that. So why does banter work? Well, first of all, it shows confidence, right? It shows that you don't take yourself too seriously. You don't take her too seriously, right? And this is very contrasting in regards to how guys might try to approach her. They might tiptoe around, putting the best version of themselves forward, that they miss all the signs for an opportunity to inject humor or a playful tease. So this is why it works. Number one is it's challenging her reality. Number two is it lowers her defenses. That's right. Like humor, if you think about it, it disarms, right? It disarms. If you're able to poke a bit of fun or tease her on something, she's not expecting it. Her guard is going to come down, and humor is, you can't overlook the power of humor. I always think about, if your first day at school, remember your first day at school, maybe the first friend that you made. It was everyone's first day. No one knew anyone, right? But there is a high chance that you made good friends of someone in that classroom because you maybe sniggered at someone's joke when they teased or said something snidey to the teacher, right? Don't overlook the power of humor. You have to include this in your patter. Number three, on why humor works, it creates emotional contrast. It makes her feel like you're someone exciting to be around. Okay, I always explain it like this. When you get this stuff right, it's because you've showed two sides of the coin, okay? If you're going teasing, or bullshit, all you are is a bully or a bullshit artist, right? And it can actually get quite exhausting. So the trick of this is to show two sides of the coin. You go, hey, I'm a guy you can have fun with, right? At the same time, I'm also a guy that takes a great amount of time working what it is about you that could be interesting for me. I'm intrigued about you. I'm coming from a place of curiosity, right? So you've got to show both sides of the coin. If you're only showing that one side, that intrigue, it's too serious, it's too intense, right? So you've got to get that balance of being playful and Mr. Curiosity. Let's get into some of the golden rules of banter, right? Again, you got to keep it playful, not painful. Okay, so let's just say that you've approached her, for example. Okay, you've approached her and you've said something, you've done your opener, you've done your icebreaker line, and she says something like, I don't speak to guys that we've just met. I don't speak to guys that I've just met. Right? Now, a playful response might be something like, me neither. Let's go and speak to some women. Right? You've got to be, it's something like that will just sort of put down her guard and think, wow, okay, this guy's funny, he's sharp, he's witty, he's smart. And guys, you get to that place, right? You get to that place by being in the present. You can't get to that place, that quickness, that sharpness, by being in your head trying to overthink what the next 2 or 3 plays are in the conversation, right? She likes it because she thinks you're smart. You like it because you cracked a smile from the broad, and it opens up the door further to where else you can go, as maybe before, she would have been the ice queen. Rule number 2, as I said earlier, it's just don't overdo it, right? Don't overdo it. You got to give her time to relax, right? If you're constantly teasing, it becomes exhausting, right? It becomes exhausting. Think of it like this, Imagine like the 18th century or whatever period you want to draw reference from, but imagine you've got a jester, right? A jester, you've got the king and all his noblemen sitting on the table, and you've got the jester and he goes up and he's entertaining, he's being the clown, blah, blah. The jester never gets a seat around the table of the king and his noblemen. So it's fine being the source of amusement, but you can't play on that card all the time. Remember, you've got to get the balance. This is worth bringing up another time because I really want to drill this in. You've got to get the balance, right? It can be quite addicting once you realize, I can get a laugh from someone. I'm going to play this card all night. Think of it like this. It's seasoning. You just sprinkle it in now and again, right? Sprinkle it in now and again, seasoning. Rule number 3 with banter is the self-amusement aspect of things, right? So it's, you think of it when you're watching your favorite comedian, right, on the stand-up on Netflix or whatever, and there is a beautiful art in the self-amusement aspect. Often you'll find yourself laughing at the joke before they've even told the joke, because they're already laughing thinking about the delivery of it, right? So have fun with going out there, saying, doing, being playful, amusing yourself. Laugh at your own jokes and expect to be pulled on it. Expect them to go, wow, you think you're really funny, don't you? And don't shy away from response. Just go, wow. I mean, when I've got an audience, why not? Have that something to say and take great confidence on having those witty responses. Again, you can see the pattern here. Rule number 4 with all of this, and I've kind of alluded to this a bit earlier on in some of my points before now, was that you've really got to be in the moment. You've really got to be in the moment. You've got to be spontaneous. If you're going out there with these rehearsed lines, right? I mean, 1 or 2 might get you out of trouble, but if you're literally just trying to think about your rehearsed lines, you're missing it, buddy. You're missing what's going on here. Like I always say, you've got to be looking out the windshield, right? Because if you're looking out the windshield, you're getting all of that incoming information, right? If you're not looking out the windshield, you're going to crash the car. You're going to crash the car because you're not looking where you're going. You're not looking what's coming at you. It's super attractive when they realize that your wit and your charm is coming from what's coming out of their mouth. You're playing off their words. Okay, so that's a big rule. Rule number 4 is being spontaneous. Tip number 5, all right, I'm just going to keep it simple, is you've got to balance it with real connection. Again, I said it earlier a couple of times, I'm really putting emphasis on this. So just say you've had a bit of a rile on a joke or some playfulness, and then you got to switch it up a gear. So imagine if you're just driving around in a certain gear, right? It comes to a point where there's only so long that you can drive around in that gear for. Okay, a lot of analogies of driving today, but you got to get to a point where you realize you need to shift it up a gear. And that shifting up a gear might be a little transition into, okay, look, what's your story? Tell me something your mother doesn't know about you, right? Now, that then is the shift from playfulness to intrigue, right? Getting it to be about them. Otherwise, it's just Johnny's comedy hour, which might be all right for a while, but the goal is to build chemistry and connection, right? As I said earlier, she doesn't want a comedian. She wants connection. Now, the $1 million question: when does banter become flirting? So here's the signs that she's into it. Remember I said about, you're on that tennis court and you serve one over the net and they've got to serve one back and you've got to get a bit of a rally going. You spot the serve back, right? She gives it back to you. She gives you the tease, okay? There might be some clues in her body language, right? If you look at her body language, maybe it opens up a little bit. Maybe she's turned herself a bit more towards you, okay? Maybe her neckline is opening up a bit more. Another body language thing is the eyes, okay? If she's holding the eye contact, you can see that little glint in her eyes, like you've just sort of unlocked something. You found the ignition in the car and it's ticking over, right? Check the eyes, check the feet. Remember, wherever the feet are pointing, that's what the mind is on. Their feet, if they're pointing outwards, she wants to exit the situation. If she's got her legs crossed and she's focusing on you, they're pointing towards you, she's invested, okay? Other bits of body language, she's smiling, she's laughing. I mean, it's not going to take a genius to work out if she's into it or not, guys. So let's think about the shift, okay? Let's say you're in an interaction and she's into it, she gives a bit of resistance. She might say something like, "You're trouble," right? You could just hold that eye contact and then you could sort of get that smile going and go, "Yeah, but I'm the sort of trouble you'd miss if it was gone," right? Again, it's having that playful, witty comeback, right, as to when this opportunity arises. But think about what's happening there. You're giving her the opportunity to play into that, to confirm that, yes, I am with you crossing this bridge from playful to dirty. Another one could be, she says to you, "You really think you've got me figured out?" Again, holding that eye contact, smiling and going, "Not quite yet, but I'm enjoying the research," right? And again, measuring her response. This is indicating to her that you're not the playing it safe guy, right? It's like, oh shit, the boss is here, right? You're indicating to her that you're crossing the bridge from playful to dirty, right? And she's going to be into it. So I think something to add in here, and if you've seen some of my other videos where I'm doing examples of conversation that is designed to show intent, what is consistent is the delivery, right? That old saying, it's not what you say, it's how you say it, right? You'll see my tonality changes, my thinking changes. What I'm thinking is what I'm projecting, right? So I might be thinking like, I've got you. And as I'm thinking that, you can see my mannerisms are changing, right? I'm slowing my voice down, right? I'm slowing my voice down. I'm operating from there. I'm not speaking up here. I'm not speaking really fast. It's slow. It's at a decent pace, right? So that's what we're talking about when it comes to delivering these lines. And as I said, if she's into it, she will play into it. But let's talk about for a moment if she's not, and what the signs are that she might not be into it. Well, it might be that she might say something a bit catty, or she might be showing she's uncomfortable, right? Maybe you've just laid it on too thick, right? If you're new to this, you haven't had much experience doing it, that can happen, right? So if you sense that she's not quite into it, just simply drop down a gear, okay? Just get out of the banter and move it more into one of your curious questions, right? Asking about her, right? Just turn it down. I always think of it like this. I give you examples of my workshop. You've got two glasses on the table. One's called escalation. One's called comfort. You've got a jug of water. If you fill one of them all the way up into comfort, what's going to happen? It's just going to spill. It's too much. Mr. Nice Guy, right? You're playing it too safe. If you pour the jug of water all the way into the escalation, the intent glass, what's going to happen? It's going to go out. It's going to spill, right? You're too intense. So you got to get that perfect balance between, comfort and escalation, right? You might need to spend a bit of time here, but don't spend too much time there, right? Because you're going to come across as an asexual pen pal, right? And then you start pouring here, but you're gauging, you're testing to see where she's at. And we call this calibration. Okay, guys, I said if you stick around long enough, I'll give you the Banter framework. And here it is. It's play, tease, and pivot. Okay, so think of something that you can use as a playful thing to say. Okay, look at the environment. Are there any clues? Is there anything that can maybe help you? Help you with this. Just throw one out here as an example. Maybe it could be like, "Wow, it's not often I meet someone as equally as tall as me," right? And you put that out there. You see if you can get a response, and then you say, I'm finding it really intriguing as to whether you get height anxiety, when it comes to meeting someone. I mean, because you're so tall. Maybe you just go for guys that are really tall, right? Like, do you ever think about like how tall or how long your children are going to be? Right. So we've took something playful, we've tested it to see how she responds, and then we've pivoted it, right, into something that gets her brain thinking about her response. Now, just a note on this one, by the way, you can steal this if you want. These are just examples I'm throwing out there. It's very funny. I asked this to a waitress who was very tall, and she actually said she only dates short guys. And I go, wow, that's really interesting. I wish so many guys that I work with could hear someone like you share this information. I go, why is that? And she goes, well, realistically, I'm never going to find someone that is my height. But also, what I'm just looking for is someone that can handle themselves. Someone that looks like they can handle themselves. And that's all I'm really looking for. So there's a little bit of an insight for you guys there as well. Okay, so let's look at some things to avoid, right? I'm going to first of all saying you're over talking. You're talking too much. If you're talking too much, right, you're not giving her the opportunity to speak. Remember, this only works, the demonstration of wisdom, the demonstration of wit, the demonstration of being playful is when you can latch on to things that she's saying. She needs to be doing the talking, right? Again, you need to throw a log in the fire to get that fire burning and play off her words, okay? Another one, negging, right? And remember, I'm not all about negging. I'm about a playful tease. We never want to minimize ourselves to bring ourselves up, right? You don't need to be doing that, right? And again, a lot of guys get it so wrong and they just come across as like a bully, right? Okay, another one is sarcasm. Okay, sarcasm cannot be often used too much as a defense mechanism. So I would try to overuse, don't overuse sarcasm. The last one is ignoring her vibe, right? I mean, if you've got to check her vibe. As I say, part of the framework, was play, test, and pivot. Play, test, and pivot, right? So you've got to check where her vibe's at. If you're reading her wrong and you're continually trying to pile on the banter and she's not getting it, she's not feeling it, then everything you're doing is going to work against you. So if you see her vibe is not in a playful mood, then you switch, you pivot, remember? You pivot into showing the other side of the coin. I'm a guy you can be playful with, but I'm also a guy you can have serious conversation with, right? Some people are just having a fuck off day, right? Like leave me alone day, or I'm not in that sort of mood day, right? It's up to you to be able to read the room, so to speak. So there we have it, guys. Look, I mean, what I wanted you to get from this video really is, banter isn't about having all the lines, secretly written up your sleeve or in your pocket. Banter is about being present, right? Banter is about being present. If you're looking for inspiration, I will say, go and take an improv class, right? Maybe that's some homework after watching this video. Go and take an improvisation drama class, improvisation acting class. I'm sure there's some out there in your city or in your town, wherever you live. This will be a great investment. It will be getting you thinking, helping you think on the spot, helping you create those quick-witted comebacks. Okay. You can also, just Google improv classes, improv shows. Right, there might be some comedic improv shows. You can see the way that they're linking words to objects and thinking that the way they do. You need to implement some of this way of thinking into your interactions. So I hope you like this video, guys. I felt that it was an important one to touch on because can be quite nuanced on how to be flirty and ambiguous, using innuendos and all this kind of stuff. And that's just a bit of a taster I wanted to share with you guys. If you guys want further coaching with me, I mean, there's so many options now, right? We've got the Elite Seduction online dating academy, right? Where you can learn from me on live Zoom calls every week. And we've got courses on there as well. I'm going to put the links under this video. Right, so it's on School, by the way. It's on School. And you can work with me in person here in London. We've got 7-day programs, 7 days and 7 nights, back-to-back, in-field, one-on-one coaching. We've been doing this program for absolutely years. It's my signature program. It's transformational. It really is. Again, I'll put the link in the description of this video for you to check out some of the testimonials and plan out what maybe next year is going to look like for you in this area of your life. Guys, if you're new here, subscribe, leave comments, and hope you enjoyed it. Take care.